I seek solitude and rest. Take the stress off my chest. Words are empty when majestic is everywhere.
Good morning. It's Saturday, September 6th, 2025, and I'm here on the side of 395 at just some random pool out that Roger and I spent the night at. We're planning on going into Piute Pass, into the Humphreys Basin this week, and conditions aren't great. It's really smoky from all the fires. So it should prove to be an interesting week. It's not terrible down here yet. It looks like it's a lot worse up there, but we'll see. I've never been in via Piute Pass. I've never been to the Humphreys Basin. The original plan, I think when we initially decided to do this, was we were going to take Piute Pass into Piute Canyon. But yeah, we've never fished Humphreys Basin, and so I think we're just gonna chill out. You know, there's a lot of smoke. We're just gonna take it easy and just have an easy week. So we'll see how it goes. So it's about 8:40, and we are at the Pine Creek Trailhead. So we've decided to stick with our original plan, which is to go in at Piute Pass, hang out for a few days in the Humphreys Basin, hike over to Piute Canyon, and then come out Pine Creek. I spoke to somebody a little bit ago about a particular lake that I was planning to visit on this trip. I am not going to be visiting that lake on this trip. So if you're that guy, just know that I'm not going to be able to validate or invalidate your experience. So it's about 10:22, and we're finally getting out of the car. We're at the second parking lot for Piute Pass. Dropped our packs off at the trailhead, and we're walking up to the trailhead after parking. Probably about a half a mile, maybe more, from the parking to the trailhead with a slight incline. I'll probably mention, if it's not obvious by the blue sky behind me that and the sunshine, that the smoke isn't nearly as bad up here. When we get to the trailhead and put our packs on, I'm going to be carrying about 40 pounds. My pack with all my gear is about 25, and I've got about 11 and a half pounds of food, and then you figure 2 or 3 pounds of water. So going in at about 40 pounds. What about you? What do you think you're at?
38.
And Roger says he's at 38. And there is overnight camping up here. That requires a fee. No day use parking. Pit toilets up here. Sierra Bighorn area. And we're here, and we're going to be going up over Piute Pass. And as you can see, it's just littered with a bunch of different lakes. The Piute Pass Trailhead is 6.5 hours from the San Francisco Bay Area, 5 hours from the Los Angeles area, and 60 minutes from the Mammoth Lakes Airport. Overnight stays require a wilderness permit, and there is camping and fishing along the way. The hike is 6.5 miles with 2,180 feet of elevation gain. The pass itself is at an elevation of 11,417 feet. Bear canisters. And here's where we left our packs. Okay, so day one, always going to be the heaviest, always going to be the cleanest. I've got some heavy food that I brought with me that I'll get rid of the first couple days. I've got a sandwich from Togo's, and I've got some eggs with me, so That'll help relieve things. It won't help me going over this pass, but you know, it'll lighten things up fairly significantly when it comes to my food right off the bat. So I'm guessing maybe 4 or 5 hours today, I'm hoping. It's going to be probably 7 or 8 miles, and we've got to go over the pass, so maybe closer to 5. We're nestled in aspens right now, and it's fairly cool, but when I'm out in the sun, I'm feeling a little bit overdressed. I brought my medium weight icebreaker shirt simply because, you know, we're going to be up at 10,000 feet, and it should be pretty hazy from all the smoke, so that'll keep things cool, but you know, time will tell. Now, I've had some knee issues since the immigrant trip, so being slow and deliberate with these step-ups, concentrating on my non-injured leg. Now, Piute Pass is pretty much considered the preferred route into Piute Canyon. Pine Creek, however, is the fastest, and it's pretty steep. To see what that's all about, check out my Pine Creek video, which I'll stick up here somewhere. So it's about, well, we're about 2 hours in and gone about 3 miles. We're probably sitting at somewhere around 10,000 feet. My Sunto says about 10,000. Roger's saying 10,400, so somewhere between there. Probably another, I don't know, hour and a half to go before we get to the pass, and then we're gonna eat lunch. Okay, we've come to Loch Leaven, and according to Roger, this makes up the majority of our elevation gain. So, steady climb from here to the pass. So, Loch Leaven is at 10,700 feet. Making a quick stop, see if I can see any cruising fish. There's a fish over there by the... it just went just on the other side. Oh, there's two. Just on the other side of this pine tree. Oh, there's three. Look like brook trout from here. Yeah, it looked like there were a bunch of brook trout in here hitting the surface. There's one working over there. Or he was working. There's one over there working. Got some decent fish cruising right here. Okay, we're coming to the little lakelets below Piute Lake. Lots of trail runners on this trail, which is cool. We've run into some other backpackers. Quick notation about trail etiquette. Right, uphill has the right of way, so if you come to somebody and they're panting on their way up and they're struggling and you're coming down, please step off so that person can continue with their struggle. So we're about 3 hours in, just below Piute Lake. Gonna stop for lunch. I've got a roast beef sandwich from Togo's. It's about 4.5 miles. And just gonna chill out here next to the trail. According to the Eastern Sierra Fishing Guide, the Loch Leaven has browns, brook trout, and rainbows. So given the name Loch Leaven, it's appropriate that it has browns. And Piute has brook trout. Okay, about a 15-minute stop. We ate our lunch and are ready to get going again. No 2-hour stops here. I'd rather get up over the pass, get into the basin before the smoke comes in, before thunderstorms come in, all that kind of stuff that the afternoon tends to bring. Okay, we're finally at Piute Lake. Piute without an A. And geez, still quite a bit of elevation gain before we hit the pass. I don't know if it's the smoke, but my eyes have been stinging, my sinuses have been draining, kind of making it hard for me to keep my eyes open and breathe through my nose. This place is doing a pretty good job imitating the Emigrant. So many horse steps. Okay, we're getting close. There's the top. And here's us. Getting close, but I'm sure this isn't it. It's just to lull you into a false sense of security. So, looks like we're at the top. I don't see any signage saying this is the pass, but that's Summit Lake. So yeah, this is it. Man, that was pretty terrible. The stinging eyes, the not being able to breathe. I think I prefer Pine Creek, where you've got, you know, short and steep over long and horse steps. Way too many horse steps. Post-nasal drip is just killing me. Okay, so in total, 6 miles, or just over 6 miles, 6.35 miles from the car, 4 hours and 45 minutes. It took longer than I thought it would. Anyway, there's Summit Lake down there. Summit Lake's got golden trout, but we're gonna try to get out of this wind. Okay, we're heading cross country to where we want to camp. Still pretty windy. We're gonna have to find someplace sheltered. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get out of this wind. And as always, the map doesn't show the terrain. So the map doesn't show this big gully that we're gonna have to go down into. But there's the lake over there. Looks like pretty good water. I'm not seeing any fish. Okay, this is worse. So where we were originally thinking about making camp is just incredibly windswept. We've got to find someplace a little bit more protected. So we're moseying about looking for a campsite. There's one, wasn't too bad. Back up there, wasn't completely flat. It was a little rocky, but not so bad. This might not be too bad. A little rock fall there. And there doesn't really seem to be any like good spots for a tent. This might not be too bad. What we picked out is doable, but it really has Roger and I like right on top of each other. So I'm gonna make my way closer to the lake, see if I see anything. Okay, there's the trail. I'm just gonna go down the trail. Of course, by the time I get back, Roger will have pitched his tent. Whew. Windy, windy, windy. Wow. There's a spot. Might be pretty sheltered. Or it might get stuff coming in through there. Let me check. That's pretty far away from the water though. We're not too far away from the water where we are now, but the spot's not great. This is some seriously crazy topography. Wow. I've already been walking for 15 minutes and I'm sure Roger has his tent down, so I guess we'll just stay where we are. Still gonna check out this spot over here. It's kind of far from the water. Yeah, all these spots like this are potential rock fall zones. I mean, that's not real high, but still, you had a rock come down on you, that wouldn't be pleasant. This must be that spot that I saw from higher up. Oh yeah, this is perfect. I mean, it's a little far from the water, but there's no wind here at all, and it's perfectly flat. And even though it looks like ant habitat, I'm not seeing any ants. Maybe a little rock hazard, as evidenced by this thing being right here. Okay, and here's our spot. Let's see how this is going to work. So Roger's had an unfortunate mishap with his tent. That's really weird. I mean, it kind of looks like a rodent maybe got to it, but when you look at the other side, it's unmolested. Very strange. Roger's working on his tent, but this is our setup. Pretty cozy. I got rocks anchoring each of my tent pegs, and I've got to come out on the rock side, unfortunately, because there's only one entrance on this tent. That's the one thing I don't like about it. I would rather be able to come out and look out on the lake. This would be my view otherwise, but it was either look out at the rock or sleep with my head downhill. Sleeping with my head downhill doesn't work for me. Okay, time to stash my standard kit. Got my REI Ignos sleeping bag. Got a bag full of my sleeping gear. I've got a lot of silk underwear in here. Extra polypro shirt. Got my Outdoor Vitals pillow. Thermarest Neo Air sleeping pad. I'm gonna have to blow it up myself because I left the little air thing, the little air bladder at home. And got my fishing kit right here. So I'll stash that at the head of my tent. And I've got my extra jacket, so Montbell down jacket, Montbell rain gear, and I've got this power cap from Costco that Emery gave me. This thing's great. I've not had to use my regular headlamp since I got it. Yeah, so that is the extent of the gear that I'm going to bring in here. I've got 2 fishing rods, which I'll go through in more detail tomorrow. I've got my dark timber honey badger, which I think I want to have a discussion about a little bit later. I've got my Crocs, and then my trowel and all that normal stuff. So that's what I've got with me. I've got a few extra clothes in case it gets cold. So Roger was asking if I was going to fish this lake tonight, and I don't think I am. I think I'm just going to filter some water and eat, and then just turn in. Yeah, it's pretty windy right now, and I guess that may be the case for over the next 2 days that we're here. Yeah, I'm just not really in a fishing mood. I just kind of want to relax, just kind of chill out. So that's the plan. Man, it is super windy, which is going to make this a little challenging. So I've got a platypus canteen, as well as the Platypus 3-liter filter setup. So all I need to do is take this cap off. Ooh, still wet from last week. That's not good. Yeah, it is. Thought I dried it out, but apparently not. Huh. Well, I hope it still functions as designed. Oh, looks like it's looking a little dirty in there. What the heck is all that from? That's a little bizarre. Yeah, I see little brown particles on the inside. Yeah, it's got little red dots all on the top of the white fibers. Ooh, that probably is not a good sign, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it because I don't have much of a choice. That's the clean end. Let's fill this up. I'm gonna be here a few days, so wow, this water's cold. You know, you'd think it would just naturally fill up once you submerge it, but nope. Oh, that's even less water. Had to get the air bubble out of there, and I am not going to submerge my whole hand in the water in order to get that done. You'd think that air bubble would want to just push towards the surface. There we go. Now it's starting to get full. Okay. Now my hand is freezing. Take the cap off the dirty end. Screw it in. Put the cap down. Screw it down, turn it over. Now these have tendency to break, and of course mine did right here with the little strap. If you put 3 liters in like you're supposed to, it's not strong enough to hold it. So I'm just going to be doing this for a little while as it filters all the way down. So dinner today is standard fare. Salami and cheese, and I've got some crackers. I don't think I'm going to eat too many crackers today. I've had a lot of food to eat today. I've got some eggs for tomorrow morning for breakfast and cereal. I've got a lot of food with me, so I don't think I'm going to lose that much weight this trip. You know, it's all going to come down to whether or not I'm hungry and I can eat. Typically on these trips, I don't eat because I'm just not hungry. But today, I've been hungry all day, so I think I'm going to eat a lot tonight and then turn in. Making myself some whey protein powder, so hopefully I won't be as sore tomorrow when I wake up. Decided to forego the the straw and just tear a corner off and do that. I think it was dripping down my hand a little bit. My wife, I think she got these bags at Dollar Tree, and so they don't really close. So I tried to wrap up the end that's supposed to seal. I tried to fold it over a couple times, but looks like it started leaking. But no worries, I've got napkins, so I'm good. So Roger fixed his tent. So this little zipper will only go down as far as here, and this one will only come back as far as here. So that should be good enough. I used my lighter to sort of weld the end shut and then covered it up with duct tape. I am sitting here in my sleeping bag, shivering. I'm gonna hunker down soon because it is cold, and when the wind comes up, and the wind is pretty bad, it's even worse. I think I underestimated how cold it was going to be. I think my feet are probably going to get cold tonight, and it's been a while since my feet have gotten cold. But I've changed the socks that I wear, and these socks aren't quite as warm. So I've got my down jacket down at the bottom of my sleeping bag, and hopefully that'll do the trick. I guess I could throw this other jacket down there too. Yeah, maybe I'll do that as well. Well, I guess that's the end of day one. Tomorrow we start a bunch of day hikes. There are 2 separate sets of lakes that we are going to day hike up to. We're sort of at the median point between the two. So until tomorrow, if you've watched to this point, thank you for that. Hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for coming along.
The hills are calling, where the lakes are my home. Leave the stress behind, find peace in my mind. With the still water flowing, lines I'm throwing. Loneliness is not here, there is life everywhere.